Censored. I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is Marcus Davis, and I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Now, for our people who want to know what uncensored is, uncensored is my way of showing people that even if we're learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there deaf, blind, or in a wheelchair. That you should never label yourself or have people label you. And you should prove to them you can still mount to something no matter what. And now, with that being said, it's a half hour, 45-minute conversation. You can say anything you want, curse if you want to. It's uncensored, so whatever you want to do.
All right. I probably won't be doing any cursing. Just for the fact of what I represent and what my company represents. But I definitely do want to say before we get started that I admire what you're doing and your cause and what it stands for.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I wish there was more people like you that say that, I came across a couple athletes, professional wrestlers, and all they care about is like, well, what is your fan base? Do you cater to the whites, blacks, Asians? What is your demographics? What is your fan base? How many audience members do you have? It's like, I don't care about that. It's like you're missing the point why I'm doing this.
Exactly.
And I turned down this one woman because she asked me for money. Says, are you going to pay me for your time? It's like, I'm not dealing with that. I may be retarded, but I know when I'm going to be taken advantage of. I'm not going to go down that road.
Exactly. You shouldn't. And that's really good. And, people got to understand that, first and foremost, we got to start from somewhere. And we should never get to the point to where we're too big or too busy or too anything to help people out that's really serious and really trying to do something. That's what it's all about for me. For me, it's, are you serious? And, are you committed to it? Do you have a passion for it? And are you willing to put in the work to make it happen? And for you, all those answers were yes. You contacted me. You were persistent. I looked you up and saw that you were, serious. And, I wanted to try to make it happen for you and for me.
No, I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to the friendship building as well.
Definitely. I'm all about networking. My company, I don't know if you had a chance to check out our website, but we're all about promoting positive, inspirational type of things. And you would fall into that category of people that do inspirational things, or that at least try to inspire others to do positive things or do something, with their lives.
Well, after the show, I would like to talk to you about a partnership if you're interested.
Definitely. And we could look into getting you on our website and getting you some extra promotion for what you're doing, because that's what our company kind of does, is promote people and music and different forms of entertainment that's all positive.
Now, here's a question for you. Now, are you the type of person who would say you only care about what is your fan base? And, like, for example, say you're a big star, and you say, well, I would only do your show if you had 1,000, 2,000 people follow. It's like, 1,000, 2,000, where am I supposed to go? Yeah, I'm paying for some airtime on Twitter and Facebook, but I'm not going to get 1,000, 2,000, and how that's directed at you. Does that shit really matter to you, or is that just arrogance on people's parts?
Yeah, I think it's arrogance. I definitely think it's arrogance on some people's parts. And maybe some people are in financial situations where they need the money, but they still, don't have to come off a certain way, even if they are in need of the money. There's still, ways to go about doing things. And I don't think that's a good way of going about doing things. That's not a good way of networking or building relationships or, getting people to speak well about you. Because now you could go out and tell someone else, you shouldn't do business with that person because, they're not cordial or anything.
Right. I didn't get it from the person, but I talked to someone who talked to someone, and apparently, it's like a telephone, and I felt like saying to the person to repeat it to her, but I didn't because I'm a good person. But I'm gonna say it now, and so you would only be on my show if I had 1,000, 2,000 people following me. Then why am I even bother being a fan of yours if you're just gonna slap it back in my face?
That's very true. Exactly. Doesn't make sense.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you is, and you can ask me anything you want, it's uncensored, but the question I was going to ask you is, how did you start your own company, and what's your company about?
Well, my company is Dreams Made Real, is the name, and it's an all-positive entertainment company. It's a unique company that produces and promotes all forms of entertainment, but only in a positive light. So we have music from every type of genre, from country to rock to hip-hop. Well, all of our songs or videos have a positive message to them and an uplifting message to them. The company started from an idea. I started off as a rapper many years ago. I'm 34 now, and I started off when I was a teenager in hip-hop. But even when I started as a rapper, I was an all-positive rapper. And I wrote songs and made lyrics that didn't have curse words and that were trying to be uplifting or informational or educational. So I think that kind of, I matured and got older and didn't become a successful, famous rapper. So I figured, let's try to, evolve this. And the evolution was the idea to have a company that did much more than just rap, but still was all positive and tried to reach more people. Because the idea is, if we do every different type of music, then we can reach every type of person. Because everyone listens to some type of music, whether it's country or rock or hip hop or whatever. So the idea is we could potentially reach everyone by doing this and have a positive effect on potentially every and anyone in the world, and show them that music and entertainment can be something that's useful for, other than just entertainment.
That's true. And I like rap music, if it has a good beat to it, I like it. But what's your opinion on the people using the N-word, people using bitches and hoes? Do you think that's rap, or do you think that's just, I don't know, just discrimination and stereotyping?
I definitely do. I think I think to maybe a small part of it is rap. I guess a small part of it can be said to be expression and, free speech in a sense. But when you're talking about like a culture and, trying to grow a culture and the impact of the culture on people inside and outside of the culture, I think that it does more harm than it does good. So yeah, it may be, some people can say it's free speech, or maybe some people can say it's, expression, but the impact of it is more bad than good. Because then you get, say, the N-word, for instance. Let's just use that example. Then you come into situations where the artist can use the N-word and it's supposed to be okay, but the people, the consumers, the white consumers, are not supposed to be able to say the word. And that's just stupid. That doesn't make sense. We want white consumers to buy albums, but we don't want them to say the words that we're saying.
Right.
And that's just nonsense. So we create these type of situations by using these words and these phrases when they don't really benefit anyone. They don't really bring any good to the culture or to people or to society. So, in my opinion, we're better off without them. Even though I don't want to limit people's, ability to do those things, I just don't think they're useful.
Yeah, I used to work with someone, his nickname was Whiteout, and he used to dress as from 8 Mile. And it's kind of like, why?
Eminem's one of the greatest ever.
That's true. But do you think Eminem also opened the door for stereotyping too? For it made it cool for white people to act black?
Yeah, Eminem opened the door for a lot of things. I mean, good and bad. He opened the door for black people to want to think that white people can't rap, even though Eminem's an obvious exception.
Right.
He's obviously great. I mean, he's obviously a real talent. But he made it seem like, he's too good, though. He's so good that we don't want to give him credit as far as, some black people. And then some white people, to take it to the other extreme, some white people can look at him and say, well, the white guy is the best at the black thing. So people can run with it and kind of twist it however they want. And unfortunately, a lot of people are going to take the negative things and run with them. But I think overall he's been good for hip-hop because he brought more listeners to hip-hop that maybe wouldn't have, gave hip-hop a chance. So I think for that reason he's good, as much of the bad stuff that he brings with him.
That's true. I remember the one funny story was Eminem. Is someone was on stage, I think it was at a Grammys or some comedy event, and the host fell off the stage and he fell on Eminem, and then everyone says, well, I guess he likes his M&M's with nuts.
Oh, man.
I don't remember who that was, but it was pretty funny.
And he's had a bunch of moments. He's done a lot of crazy stuff over the years.
That's true.
And that's one thing we got to realize too. Is like he's an agitator, so we gotta realize that when we listen to his music, and we can't take him too seriously because a lot of times he does stuff on purpose just to provoke people and to provoke a response and to see what people will say.
If given the option, I would prefer Eminem over Justin Bieber.
Oh, yeah, I definitely would, too. That's the easy one for me.
Now, next question I was going to ask you was, you mentioned you were a rapper. How come you stopped rapping, or do you still rap, and who influenced you into that?
I kind of call myself retired from rapping. I guess it kind of, I went to prison. I got incarcerated when I was younger. I went to prison at 19, and I didn't get out I did maybe 4 years. So during that time, and that's actually the time that the idea for my company came about, because I obviously had a lot of time to think about a lot of things. So I was thinking that I was going to start being too old to be a rapper, because I didn't know how long I was going to be incarcerated. So I was thinking more of the future and what could be more long-lasting, and that was a company. And I also was thinking about, I was also thinking about my personal life too, because now I'm a felon. Now that I'm a convicted felon, I understand that it's not going to be easy for me once I get back into society as far as options of working and things. So it was also kind of out of necessity that I switched to having the idea of being just an artist to a company, because I also needed a way to make money and a legal way to try to turn my life around and survive, knowing that it's going to be hard for me to get maybe some jobs, maybe not all jobs, but some types of jobs. So those things kind of all came together and made the need for me to look at other things.
Well, on the subject, as long as if people who get arrested, as long as you don't kill someone, everyone deserves a second chance. But look at Booker T. Booker T. He's a famous professional wrestler, And he got arrested when he was younger, and he didn't want that to hold him back or stereotype him. I know we're only human and people do make mistakes, but there's a limit of, if you take a life, okay, that's, but if you do something like, something stupid, but you deserve a second chance. Like I said, we're only human. We all make mistakes.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And sometimes, unfortunately, in this country, sometimes we don't give second chances. Sometimes we do give second chances, and sometimes we don't. And a lot of times for convicted felons, a lot of times they don't get a full second chance. They may get a chance at being out of prison, but then they still face, some discriminations that people without felonies or without records don't have to go through. So they have a slightly tougher road to tread after that.
That's true. Well, on the subject of prison, there's this announcer from ECW, Joey Styles. He said, I heard someone from prison said, I don't know if it's true or not, but I wouldn't be bragging about it on Twitter. But he said ECW was this huge thing in prison, and I was like, even if it's true, I wouldn't be bragging about it. I wasn't a fan of ECW wrestling. Were you a fan?
I was when I was younger. I don't know if ECW, it was more WWF when I was younger. And it was, what was the other one? Was it ECW, or what was the one that had like King Jerry Lawler and Jeff Jarrett and
NWA? So it's NWA and WCW.
Those. Yeah, I was a fan when I was younger. I don't watch it now these days, but I was a huge, huge fan when I was younger. A lot of matches and everything.
I was talking to this guy he's a owner of Northeast Pro Wrestling. I'm trying to get him on my show, and I don't know, it's hit and miss. But I was like, oh, well, I would like some airtime during an event, talk to people about what I'm doing. Didn't give me an answer. Okay, well, can I have your permission to talk to a couple of superstars? Yeah, you have to pay for that. Okay, well, I'd rather pay, $30, $40 for, the interview time than getting an autograph. But if it's something like ridiculous, like $100, $200, I'm not going to do that. But like we were saying, people say I have a great format. I should go to schools, tell people what I'm doing, get the word out. And like you said, you're going to help me with that if you're still okay with it. But then there's other people who say, that's great, but if you're not capable of doing it yourself, why are you doing this? And it's kind of like, isn't point of life doing a good deed and making a difference in someone's life? And it's like, okay, what's in it for me and how much you're going to throw at me? It's ridiculous.
So how did you get started? That's a question for you. How did you get started, and what made you want to do what you're doing and be an example?
For the longest time when I was growing up, I was using my learning disability as a crutch. Can't do this, can't go that, can't go to college, no college would accept me. I have a IEP diploma. And what a IEP is, it's a local high school diploma. So that's all that's good for. It's learning a trade or going to a 2-year community college. And I was working in retail. Long story about that. But highlights is I got myself sick out of stupidity. I aggravated my panic attacks to the point where I can't hold down a job. Bad enough I had social anxiety, so I had social anxiety, panic attacks, and everything else. And one day I was like, fuck it. I'm going to show people that even with a learning disability, I can still amount to something. My brother is an inspiration of mine. He's going on tour. He has his own books and everything. And it's like, well, how can I mirror what he's doing and use it for myself? well, I do have a learning disability. Well, why not use it as a weapon instead of using a crutch? If I have it holding me back for all these years. So I turned that into an advantage. I did 72 interviews in the beginning. They're all demo interviews. And I became friends with people from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to Dragon Ball Z to Amazing Spider-Man. And some of them, like I said, I became friends with, and they actually helped me with the actual interviews, like what we're doing. And there's other ones who said, oh, well, you should have told us at the time it was a demo interview. And now if you want us to do it again, you have to pay us. Or I only did it for you because I thought it would help me with my career and help me with getting more PR. So I was like, oh, okay, so you were taking advantage of me. Okay. Okay, whatever. Would you like to do an interview over? No, once was enough. And so I reached my goal of 100. It took me a year and a half. Now I'm gonna get up to 200. But all I'm getting now, it's like, how many likes do you have on Facebook? How many followers do you have on Twitter? Whatever stupid other websites there are. And it's like, it doesn't matter to me. You're missing the point. I'm not doing this to make money. Yes, I would like to make money, but you're missing the point of why I'm doing a whole show. And it's kind of like, oh, well, if you don't have 900 or 1,000 followers, then we can't work with people like you. And it's kind of like, work with people like me. That sounds like discrimination right there. But it's kind of like, it's ridiculous. People forget where they come from.
Exactly. And that's exactly what it is. That's a pure case of people forgetting where they come from. And people just not having the heart, too. It's kind of ridiculous because, I mean, it doesn't take much to help somebody out. Even if you're in a better situation or if you are in a worse situation. What's a little bit of your time to help somebody that's serious about what they're doing? Like I said, that's what it always comes back to for me. Because I'm serious about what I'm doing. And I don't like to waste my time, and I know how valuable time is. So when I see other people that's serious about what they're doing, it doesn't take much to help. And people don't realize that, coming together and networking is the easiest way to get things done. That's what I'm constantly stressing to people. If we come together, if I support you, and I'm already supporting this group and these artists and them, well, if I can get them to all come together and we can support you and you can support them, we are much more successful. We have a better chance to succeed that way, because then you're getting access to my network, I'm getting access to your network. We're not charging each other anything, but we're benefiting from our relationship. We're still helping each other because we're giving each other access to each other's networks. We're sharing each other's work. We're giving each other an interview or whatever it is. We're tweeting about each other. Every little bit helps, and it all adds up to get people to where they're trying to go faster than they can by themselves.
No, I agree with you. But there's a lot of things about professional wrestlers where they would say they're the most bunch of miserable people you would ever meet, and it's like, well, no one's making you become a wrestler. No one's making you, be miserable. You're doing this because it's what you want to do.
Yeah, definitely. Or you feel like it's what you gotta do, or you feel like that's the best way for you to make money or something.
Not sure, and I got a lot of criticism in the beginning. People say that I was taking advantage of people, I was manipulating people, I was using the guilt card, and it's kind of like, I didn't do that with you or any of the other 53 people I talked to. And it's kind of like, I don't know, it's people reflecting themselves on me, and because they couldn't do it. And I wish I was doing this 4 years ago. I don't know why I wasn't, that was my stupidity. But, I recently worked in a retail store, and the manager, basically, he knew I had a learning disability. And basically, it's like, I'm not here to babysit you. Okay, don't babysit me. You know I have a learning disability. Show me 2 times what to do. Don't show me once. If I blah 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 blah, and expect me to get it. I can't. I learn hands on. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm not here to babysit you." And then the other manager says, "Yeah, well, we don't know how to deal with people like you." And every time I do something wrong, yeah, we're still learning because we never worked with people like you. And I was like, I'm really sick of hearing that.
Yeah, that's so insensitive. It's, and ignorant at the same time. It's
That's
like,
true.
people don't understand what they say sometimes, and people don't even think about the impact that it may have on other people. People just say stuff. It's ridiculous.
Now, the next question I was going to ask you is, do you have any funny stories you like to share, or any funny pranks that you pulled on people?
No, nothing I could think of off the top of my head. I'd have to think about that. I'm sure there's been plenty of things that's happened because I've worked with so many people, worked with so many different artists over the years. I got a recording studio. Some people come to the studio to record, and then other people just send things in through email for us to promote. So yeah, that sticks out to me off the top of my head.
Well, now you mentioned you worked with a lot of artists. Like, who were your most favorite artists that you get the chance to work with?
None that you would probably know, like in the industry. They're going to be more independent artists. But I definitely love working with Nisha Perry's really talented artist. She sings all different types of music. She does pop and gospel and a little bit of everything, R&B. And then a couple of rappers I've worked with were really great to work with too. I've got one artist, Kadadi in Atlanta. Love working with him. He's I like his style, and he's positive, and he's authentic.
What about, is there any talent that you do plan on working with? Like, I know there's a wrestler who does country music. Do you think eventually you gotta get a chance to work with her, or do you do professional wrestlers, or do you stay within a certain category?
Oh no, we don't have any limits on the type of people we work with or the music that we accept. The only limits is that it's clean and all positive. But it can be, it doesn't matter who it is, and we primarily don't deal with like famous people. But we mostly deal with independents or people who are trying to still make it, who haven't made it. So because we're trying to help them get there, as we're helping us be exposed to. So yeah, definitely wrestlers, anyone that's trying to get a word out, or anyone trying to get a video out, because we do commercials, we promote commercials, we promote documentaries. We have there's an organization down in Florida. They're called the Black Male College Explorers, and it's a little organization that helps young black kids from high school, from tough neighborhoods, transition into college. And it's a really little nice program, and we have like a little draw up in our blog talking about them, and with video they did a little short documentary about the company. So we posted that in our blog, and you can click and easily go check them out. And just little different things like that is all we're about. Just finding anything that gives people more information about things that's good that's going on out here.
All right, now if people want to follow you on Twitter and Facebook, well, what are your, you can plug it, yeah, but what are your plugs?
At CEO Marcus Davis is the most popular plug for me personally. On Twitter, the at CEO Marcus Davis is much more popular than the company's Twitter, which is DMR Presents, at DMR Presents. That's also our Facebook, our company Facebook, and our company website is dmrpresents.com. So those are pretty much our two brands, either DMR Presents or CEO Marcus Davis.
And now, wrapping up, do you have anything you want to say to your fans and listeners?
Just everybody stay positive, keep supporting the all positive entertainment movement, and keep supporting people like yourself that are trying to inspire people to do something good with their lives. And I thank you for this opportunity. And I've had a great time speaking with you.